Welcome back. So last we left, we were trying to figure out how are we going to make his little tank head. Now we're going to go ahead and put the head here, and this is how I figured it out. I said object, arrange, bring to front, and then it brought it to front. And then what I did is, I know that this is going to fold back. That's why I put the head there. Now I know that I need to fold something over it so that way, in the same technique that I did the other tank, warpath. So I need to fold that into there so that way it's got the thing, and then I put this a little right there. So then that way I know that that's where the tank goes. So now, so that way I know it gives me a little bit of leeway as to how this whole mechanic works. So you got to think about these things in order before you design them, because if not, they come out all weird. And then object, group. Remember, always group your things so that way when you move them around, you don't get into mistakes. And then move it down a little bit. Then you go to, let's see, there we go. It's centered. Is it centered? Is everything centered? Let's see, I think it is. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. But this doesn't go first. This goes first. Alright, and then this goes on top of that. And it's going to be white. Actually, it's not going to be white. It's going to look like a little tank thingy. There we go. So that goes on top of that. And then this goes on top of here. And it's going to go a little bit above that little thing. But we're just going to move this over here. So there we go. We kind of have the same mechanics that we have with Warpath. So we've got that going on right there. So now we've got, ooh, where did this come from? I have no idea. Let's back up. Oh, because I expanded it. Interesting. Okay, so there we got that going on. So now we're going to put on the feet. And voila. Now the feet we want to add, did we add anything to the feet? I don't think we did. So we have these little shapes right here. And we're going to take them and we're going to copy them and copy them and copy them and copy them and copy them. And we're going to move it so that it kind of creates a vent effect. There is no particular, I don't think there is a line that can actually show you. I mean, I guess what I could do is I could make a rectangle. And then what I could do is I could delete one, so that way, and then we want a thing that goes there. So I'm going to delete here, and then I'm going to move this a little bit over here, and then I'm going to move this a little bit down right here, so that kind of have a guide as to what it is that I'm doing. So I'm going to put this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here. You get the idea. I'm going to put this one so that way it's aligned. Because I don't have, and are they even with each other? That's another great question that I have. Now, if you really want to get very meticulous with Illustrator, and if you're doing a job for somebody, you probably want to utilize the rulers, which is Control R. Actually, the rulers were already there, and you can pull them down. But you know what? I'm doing this for funds. For funds. Now, we're going to get rid of this. Now we want to have it be so that it aligns with the thing right here. So we're going to make a rectangle. We're going to object group all of these guys. Object group. We're going to move them down here. We're going to move this right here. And we're going to pull this down a little bit right there. And now what we're going to do is we're not going to group everything. We're going to use our little magic shape cutting tool, which I love. We're going to zoom in by holding Alt and then moving the little thing forward, and then we're going to just pull all that down, and then voila. So it should, there we go. See, it's still, there's still that little piece right there, but I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and leave it. Now, if you can hear in the background, Shosho wants to get in. But Shosho, you can't get in right now because I'm filming. So now we're going to shrink this a little bit so we can fit it inside here. And then we're going to object, see, notice it's in the back, object arrange, bring to front. And there we go. Now we are going to pull this a little bit forward. And we're going to pull this a little bit sideways like so. And it kind of has the effect that we want. We're going to object ungroup everything. We're going to get rid of this because we're going to group this together, object group, and then we're going to reverse it, flip it and reverse it. We're going to reflect it. I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. And there we go, voila, but it's not perfect. So we're going to group them all together and we're going to say align to the top. And there we go. Now we have our, and then now we're going to group it, object group. So there we go, and then we're going to place it right there. And there goes the phone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, I'm not going to answer it. Chihuahuas. We're going to object group, because it's one of those programs where you can't, you know, so we answered it. And then we're going to select everything. Well, notice how it's all grouped together, object ungroup. Then what we're going to do is we're going to select this, object group that part, and then we're going to select this bottom part, and object group, which should already be grouped. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to select everything together just to make sure that it's all aligned and then center. So there we have it. We have the face. Now this little tank object ungroup, so we can work on it. Object ungroup, I'm sorry. So we can work on this little doohickey thing right here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pull them in a little bit. I'm going to pull that in. And I'm going to pull that in. And I'm going to pull that in. And I'm going to pull this out. And then I'm going to add a little, whittles. And then I'm going to make this color green. I'm going to take this green from inside here. And then I'm going to take this green from out here. So that way, oh no, we're going to take this green from out there. So there we have a differentiation in color. And then when we flip this forward, and then also we want to, of course, color that in. And we're going to color that this green. So that way we have, there we got it. Very simple design, nothing too crazy about it. There we go. So now we have our brawl. We're going to move these shapes because, as you have heard me say before, I love collecting shapes until I'm done, and then being like, okay, I'm done. Now this is going to be a little tricky because when the head goes in, it's going to have to really go in. So that's the only thing that I have a little bit of a concern about. But we're going to go ahead and go with it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make, let's see, we have the head, we have the hands, and of course we're going to make the feet. So now what do the feet look like? First we're going to start off with these flat elements right here. And they're going to be gray, and then we're going to build a box on top. We're just playing around right now. We're just, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. We're just seeing what looks right. We're just kind of finagling. Finagling. Don't you love that word, finagle? So there we go. We've got that. It kind of goes in there. And then I'm going to add these little tabs, which are going to hook on. There's two little kind of tabs that I put on that connect. So that way. Is it still recording?